Have we been hoodwinked? Have we been led astray? Has Xbox lied to us? Are they leading us down a path that we think we're going only for them to burn the bridge and say, nay, friends, we're not going there. And by that, I mean, I'm talking about physical media. There's been a lot of talk about this. We saw yesterday this announcement, which, by the way, if you play the audio for this, you will get flagged on YouTube. I just want to point that out. But we saw this trailer yesterday.
Gotcha, huh?
Whatever it is. We saw this yesterday where you pop in your physical disc and they say, hey, you get this digital license. You can play it on other things now, not just on your Xbox. You can play it everywhere. And there's going to be thousands of titles. And everyone's like, yay, happy day, happy day, happy day. Physical games and stuff like that. You know, physical games are important again. Coming after the Sony debacle. Nearly 26 million views on this. And people are excited about it. But let's fast forward one single day. As, according to Charlie Intel, Xbox CEO Asha Sharma won't confirm whether or not Project Helix will have a disk drive, Project Helix being the next Xbox. And here it comes. This generation, we have to think about efficiency and affordability alongside performance, she told BBC News. So giving a non-answer, well, I feel like she's giving a lot of answer right there. Phoenix, do you feel like this question and this response tells you that physical media will not be a priority for the next Xbox?
Yeah, most likely. I think if they're I think they're really monitoring how the community reacts to it. My guess is it's going to wind up being that they'll have an add-on. But for me, this wouldn't change anything because I was always assuming they weren't going to have a drive. That the good news was that for people who were islanded on the previous consoles would have a means of, should they want to upgrade, would then be able to carry a portion of their library to the next one. So, for me, I don't think they were ever going to have a drive, at least in the console itself. I think they're going to look into an add-on.
Eva, what do you think about that? The idea of, Phoenix is saying there should be an add-on. Whether think of like the old classic, look at like an old Sega CD add-on right here for the Genesis back here, where you would have a console and then you add on the bottom with some sort of disc down here. If they had that for the Xbox, Eva, would you be more inclined to having a Sega CD attached to your Xbox or having a digital disc drive, or would you just stick with a physical disc drive, or would you rather stick with the digital version of games?
I'd much prefer to have the option for physical media. I don't like the fact that, you can scan in your game and get a digital license. Yeah, because you're setting everything up to no longer be physical. People are happy about that, but I'm terrified because that's literally phase out of physical media. Completely.
Sure, 100%. But the idea being is that at the very least, they are providing some kind of option in the console space, whereas PlayStation just said, at the least at the moment, fuck you. Discs aren't welcome. Go fuck yourself. The end. At least here is some means of, at the very least, offering your consumers a path to continue to your next console. Whereas if they're on the PlayStation 5, if your entire library was disc, well, too bad. Fuck yourself and buy the whole thing again. Like that's. So I'm just saying I'm not necessarily applauding Xbox entirely. It's just at least you're something here,
And this was an issue that I kind of came across when I was 16 years old. I emancipated myself because my family shit, and I moved on to a sailboat, and I lived on that sailboat till about 22.
What?
For that amount of time, I had an extreme problem when it came to playing video games, digital or not, because they had online licenses that would expire. If I'm out at sea for 30 days, all of a sudden Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't want to work, even though I only want to play story mode. So my concern is phasing out of physical media. I guarantee you're going to have an internet connection to play your video games, and I don't like that as someone who has not always had access to the internet.
I do feel like the statement that she made, going back to the original statement that she said here, she said, this generation, we have to think about efficiency and affordability alongside performance. And I think when it comes to affordability, the idea of a disk drive is one thing, right? Being able to have those physical disks. But I think what you do in a situation like this, if you're the CEO of Xbox, you say, okay, you want the physical games? Okay, pay for that disk drive. You know, it's not going to be, Phoenix, I agree with you having that option, but ultimately the cost is passed on to the customer. If you want it, okay, it's going to be a premium product. I'm sorry, this is not, the digital aspect of games far outweighs. We sell way more of those, but we do want to keep you in mind. So we do have this physical product, and ultimately what's going to come down to is we're not going to make our developers release physical games. We're not going to do that. But if they want to, and they do feel like there's a market, okay, that's fine. You know, Phoenix, how would you feel if that was the situation where they're not going to make everybody do it, but if they want to, they can be there?
No, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, I'm the perfect guy to be talking to as a console-only guy. And at the very, look, we all know it's all going to eventually go digital. That's we've always known that. But I just feel you should let the market evolve into that point. And the easiest solution, I mean, I'm assuming, listen, I'm not in this business, but I'm assuming it's not too hard to have a USB add-on drive that you can buy and just at the very least to have that. Then you make the customers happy. You go, okay, so I can now carry at the very least my library. You're welcoming me that I can go on this new console. And at the very least, I can bring my library that I paid for with me. Okay, you got me there. Does the other one do that? No? Okay, well, they can go F themselves then. So it's at least encouraging. And then, as you said, it allows for the ability for new developers, if they want to put out a DVD-based game, that you can, or special editions or whatnot. Okay, now you have my attention as a collector and someone who wants to own the games. Great. So it's a win-win for everybody. Xbox doesn't have to build it into the system, which is going to add a lot more money to it. I don't see how you would lose with this.
Well, we'll see, I guess, when they announce Helix officially, if there's a disk drive. I think that's probably the last thing they announce, just to kind of get people excited. Or it's either the first, it's probably maybe the first. I don't know. Maybe it's the first thing they announce.
No, I think they show it. And I think, and it's like almost like without saying one more thing, you see the whole trailer and then like pause, an optional disk drive that comes and then the crowd erupts. Like that's everything. And then you get, I think Microsoft has been wanting to give it back to Sony, and there you're going to do it. It's right there in that moment. And then you get me as a customer. So I think I speak for a lot of people out there that would easily switch if they did that, if they showed a little bit of appreciation.
There's
to the
also
customer.
an argument about what about hardware limitations? How much faster and more efficient can a laser disc reader really be with what we're doing with these games? Games are getting bigger, more complex and stuff, and maybe the laser disc reader it doesn't have the poop it needs to play the games at their best anymore. You know, we're kind of getting to the point where it's like, hey, a floppy disk was great and could play games at one point, but it can't now.
Well, I'll tell you what, one Xbox console that did play discs was the original Xbox. And I'm going to transition over to this other quick story here. Did you hear that they're doing a limited edition Xbox Series X25 that is a translucent Xbox green right here? Have you guys seen this?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Eva, what do you think of the nice little shell there? A little nostalgia for a lot of folks. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Well, do you like it to the tune of paying $900?
No. Why are did you make this case out of kryptonite? Why the hell is it so expensive?
My
it's
guess
edition.
And I bet I wouldn't be surprised also if it's got like 2 terabytes in it and additional storage or something. Wouldn't surprise me.
It better be able to fucking clean my room for me at $900.
Because just remember, that's what a lot of these consoles are hovering at this price tag as we speak. So this isn't that far off.
It's not.
So It's $100 more than the $799 1 TB Xbox Series X with the disk drive, by the way. So it does not, at Phoenix, it is not 2 terabytes. It is 1 terabyte console.
Then Blabs is
around
right.
the
You're
original.
paying. Then you're essentially paying for the limited.
Yeah,
edition
you're
of it.
absolutely paying for the Xbox 25 logo on the controller, the console, the skin of it, everything.
Yeah.
And don't forget that a whole bunch of those people who are at that showcase are getting it for free as well, so they have to cover some cost somehow.
God, I hate those pieces of shit. God, I hate that. As somebody who's been at those events and gotten those things, I hate them because I'm jealous. That's really what it comes down to. I'm just jealous. I wish I could get this. That
You know,
shit
I
for
hate to
free.
say this, but we need another gaming crash. I heard gaming got a lot better after the crash in the, what was it, the 80s, I think?
Yeah,
And
we
then,
got a little
like,
more
it got
selective,
like, wait,
yeah.
look, I know it sucks and it's going to be bad, but we need some kind of crash and then renaissance in gaming.
We are. I'll say this. I think we actually are in the middle of it. People don't realize that, but I
Yeah.
think we are in the middle of this because AA gaming and indie games they're the cool kids right now. The AAA, yes, we are. Yes, we're gonna have Grand Theft Auto. Yes, we're gonna have FIFA. Yes, we're gonna have Modern Warfare. Yeah, we're gonna have all those games, and all those games, they're gonna kill. Fortnite is gonna make billions of dollars. Minecraft gonna make billions of dollars. But as far as like new games and new IPs, these like Fable, right? A $300 million game doesn't make sense anymore. The $10 million game, the $5 million game, the $1 million indie game, those are the games that are taking off. Like I feel like the AA and the indie developer, they have a much better feel for what's actually happening with the gamer itself, and that's how we see tremendous successes on Steam in particular. So, yeah, I think that we are in a AAA. I'm going to say crash because they're making a shit ton of money, but they just have way more expenses than they need, and they need to be
Yeah.
doged. They just got to be doged.